Yeah, welcome back guys. It's been a while here. Right now I will show you how to make a simple business flyer on your Android smartphone using your Pixellab as usual. Any smartphone you are using, you can be able to run this. Even if you are using the 2 gig RAM phone, it has nothing to do with the configuration of the phone as long as you are using an Android phone that can accept Pixellab. In order to achieve this particular flyer, there are two things to do. The first thing is to get the Pixellab installed on your Android smartphone and get what we call a PSC Touch or PS6C. And this application I'm talking about is this PSCC. And how can you achieve this? The application is not on Play Store, but you can actually get them on Google. Just type PSCC. I will teach you how to use these two applications without any stress. Then after that has been done, then the next thing you need to do is to open your Pixellab first, or you open your PSCC, either the two. What is the work of Pixellab? I mean the PSCC here, we are going to use that one to blur the image we are using. So take it for instance, you come in there, then you go to your PSCC. When you get to your PSCC, what is the next thing to do? I'm going to cancel this because this is my present work. Then I will access. So when you open PSCC, sorry, you must be able to see this. You won't see anything like this. This is my previous work done here because I've been using it to do some kind of a work. But if your owner is new, it means you won't be able to see anything here. But that is not the issue. What you need to do is to click on the plus. You see something like an image icon here with plus at the top. Click it, then enter phone library. Click on your images, then locate the picture that you want to use. So take it for instance, this is the image I want to use. I want to blur the bottom, the lower part of this image to make it work for what I want to use it to do. You see this hand icon, just tap on it, then you click on fade. When you click on that, you drag like this, you can see, right? You can now rotate it to drag it. Okay, so you can see. So my mission is to blur the background, the lower part. Okay, very cool. Then you make sure that everything seems to straight. Okay, perfect. Then after that, you can click OK, tap on done, click on saved. You see this arrow telling us that we are extracting, we are saving this particular to gallery. Tap on save to gallery, change it to PNG, tap on the image you want to save, and you click OK. Now you are done. This is the first part to achieve. After that has been done, you can change your background to white or whatever you want. So take it for instance, I'm changing my own to white, but I added a little touch of a blue to this to make it work well. So I'm giving it this. Then I have an overlay background which I'm going to use. So take it for instance, access where I have it being done. Then I'll position this here. You can see categorically that it will work along with the background because of the kind of background color I apply. After that has been done, then the next thing I'm going to do after that is to bring the image that I just achieved now. So go to your PSCC where you're having this shape. Then you can see automatically that particular image go along with the background since we are able to blur the lower part of it. Then make sure you have your work being locked so that your hand will not be moving it. After that has been done, then you can access your gallery to bring other elements like this. So I'm position this, then you can see this is actually work directly without any obstruction. And you can bring this one down a little bit to make the whole work out the way you actually want it. So increase and bring this one down. Then tap on the image, then you move it up a little bit to cover up. Now have the whole stuff been locked. Now after that has been done, then we have other tricks which we are going to do by going to our gallery, then access all these images, bring them one after the other to make a cooler template that you actually want it to be. So take it for instance, I'm bringing this one in. Then after bringing that one in, I will crop it the way I want it to be. Then I can have the old stuff being changed just as this. Then I'll click OK. But what about the upper part? I don't want it to be showing. So which means I can just automatically bring this one in and adjust them manually. Then after that, click OK. So I will reduce the size, have it positioned around here to make a kind of design. So position it here. Then after you position that there, then you will go to the stroke, apply a stroke, let it be something like that touch of a blue. So you increase the size to something like 10 to make it look awesome, or you can still increase it more, depends on your choice anyway. So let me make my own to be 15. Okay, I think 15 should be okay. And when you look at it, it will look like the kind of image, and everything seems to be cool. Okay, perfect. So after that has been done, I will access my gallery again, bring in the image I still prefer to use. So like for instance, let me use this. Adjust set manually, just as we did on the previous one. Then we won't allow this to be up to the first one, but we are going to merge and scale everything at the end of the day. So I'm going to position this one here, but it has to be reduced a little bit. It has to be reduced. So go into the stroke, apply stroke, change the color to something like 15. Let it be 15 as the previous one. Then position it beside here, but should not be the same. Okay, so you take note of that, so you can adjust manually. So why this one can still be increased a little bit. So very good. We have the whole work being processed, or this could be reduced. After reducing this, we can reduce this as well, and everything seems to be cool. Okay, perfect. But I don't want it to be more than this line. Okay, I don't want it to be more than. Okay, because it has to be small a little bit. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So after that has been done, then the next thing we need to do is to bring other image and make sure that we follow the normal process that we have been following. Should we just achieve this using this? So reduce the size very well. Okay. Then after reduction, then you give in the stroke, something like let's say 15 as usual. Then you have to reduce it very well to make sure that its position where it's supposed to position. So the last but not the least, we heading back to our gallery. Then we bring in the let's say we bring in this to make sure that it actually works. So we crop it just as we did in the previous one. Then after that, we are going to even do by reducing this particular area, or make it longer as we did. So reducing the size, go to the stroke, apply to be something like 15 as we did. Then we click OK. So now we can deal with every stuff one after the other and make sure that everything is actually cool. And how can we do with that? So let's just make everything rhyme by just position it here. So we go in there, like when we have this, we make sure that we position, then we increase the size. The differences shouldn't be too long. Okay, so which means we'll just make sure that it exceeds a little bit, but not that kind much. Okay, perfect. So we go to the tagged one, So here I want it to face this particular area. So I'm making it face that area. So which means I need to recrop so that I can position that there. So now we have this, which I'm going to position here. Then we are going to increase the size to this again. Then have it position around there. So everything seems to be cool. So the way we actually want it. So after that, we make sure that we bring all this. We make sure that we bring it in to join just a little bit. Not to join. Okay. So apply this. Let it go in a bit. Let there be little space. Okay. The next one. Okay, very good, very good. So now that we're able to achieve this, we can now merge everything together. Just follow the process. Then we are going to use we are going to use perspective at this juncture. So what I'm going to do is to just bring this one up a little bit. While we bring this one down a little bit, okay. Then we click OK. Why this one will be able to go in there, okay. Um, just let this one be like this. Why this one will be like this. We'll bring this one down a little bit. Okay, perfect. So we can now position that around there to make sure that it actually work as we wanted. So after that, what next can we do to make the whole work simple? Just go back to the shadow, apply a shadow, and your blur radius, let it be 5. Click on plus sign and you drag this towards the end to reduce the capacity of the color. Then you come here, offset Y should be increased so that you have something like drop down. So let it be something like 6 or 7. So you can still readjust and apply a little bit. Then everything will seem to work. So after that, you can still do more by tap on the shadow. You offset Y, give it something to make us feel the presence. Okay, perfect. So after that has been done, then the next thing we need to do is to have this to be locked. So we are done with that process. So there's more that we can do with this. Before that, you can reduce the size a little bit. So have this to be dragged around this corner. So I'll give a free space to this. Okay. So which means it won't be longer. We are going to just rotate a little bit to make it work well. Okay. Okay, perfect. So after you are able to achieve that, we can now manually adjust and shift it to the left. Then we have the whole result. But nevertheless, we can drag this to come down a bit. Just this. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Then let's just rotate a bit again. Okay, okay, very good. Now you can have the whole process being locked. So after that, we can have our the brand name. So we have what we call a Daziva. We have the silver, the silver. So we go in there, look at the perfect touch, which font that we can use. So first of all, let me check here. So if you could not see anyone here, we can access our gallery here, then look for better font which you can actually use. So let's look at the horizon, whether we can see one. We didn't. Let's look for other font like for us to be able to see what about Bodoni font? Will this be the first, or we go for Montserrar? But let's just check whether we can see one more. So I'm thinking so the font we are going to use will be the Rocky Sheriff. So when we use a Rocky Sheriff, we are going to carve a little bit to make it look awesome. When you cap, then it means you adjust the size automatically. You can't use your hand to do whatever there. Okay, after that has been done, then the rest are so simple. Just go to your rotation. You rotate a little bit to make you fit in. Then you have this to be changed. Okay, so we have what we call a touch. When your work is scattered like this, just go into recover and you click the last one. So you should be able to see your work back. So when you see your work back, you can now readjust. Only thing you won't be able to see there, okay? Only thing you won't be able to see there is the last work that you did. I mean what you did presently before it scatter. So reduce the size, give it a rotation, use your eye as a gauge so that at least you'll be justified. The whole test will be justified, both the left and the right. Now copy the deceiver, change it to touch in cap. Make sure that all your letter is in cap. So after you change it, then the next thing you need to do after that, you change this from rotation, I mean from curve to normal test. I mean, let it stand alone. So after you are able to do that, you can achieve whatever you wanted. So we can have the color to change and every stuff. So coming here, I have the color being changed to this, or I change the color to black. Okay. So after changing that to black, I will have this to change again. So which I can change this by using this particular method. Okay, perfect. So after that, you go in there to the shape. Have your shape being you give it a radius a little bit, but make sure that it's positioned to where you want it. So just for instance, you have it you want it to be positioned around there. Okay, then you are going to manually make sure that you adjust. So you come in here, I'm have feeling about this particular phone because it's not as curve as I wanted. It's not look like the thing is actually justified. So somehow bend, which I'm not really pleased with it. So I'm thinking of have the whole stuff being changed, but let me see whether I can manually adjust and it will actually work. So same it work. So after that, you can now use your uh, uh you can now change everything here. Okay, so just change the color to gradient, change the color to gradient. Then after you are able to achieve that, you can go in there with your text area and you put in caps, in cap, just put in our services. Then go into the font, have the change font being changed to Montserrar very fast. Change it to Montserrar, but don't let it be too bold. Let me use semi bold. Then reduce the size a little bit. After that, go to the color, change the color to that touch of a blue of a thing. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is to see how the color being changed, I mean the font being changed. So I'm thinking of changing the font to another style. So and let's look at something. So you look at Asin. Asin is a good font. Montserrat, we can actually choose whatever we wanted. So let's go with a semi bold, but write the correct spelling. The spelling, let it be correct. Then you can increase the size a bit. Okay, perfect. Then reposition very well. Have it positioned very well. Okay, cool. So after that, you can now go in there into your write up. So we have our makeup. So when you have your makeup, you put in some stuff like this. Then we have our breathing. So let it be in capital letter. Our breathing. So after you tap the breathing a little space, just tap the space. Then we have our wig making. Let everything be in cap. Let it be in cap. So we have our wig making. Okay. So when you have you put a little space, then you are going to uh, 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 put a slash, a demarcation. So we have our general, um, we have our general, okay, perfect makeover, our general makeover. Then a little space, then we have our guillotine, okay, our guillotine. So and that should be perfect anyway. So after you are able to do that, you just have to think of a font to use. So don't want to stretch ourselves. So let's just use a Montserrar, but it won't bolder than the previous one we used. So use Montserrar extra bold so that when you reduce, it will be more obvious. Then the next thing you need to do is to think about how everything is going to be cool. So make sure you align to the center. Have the whole color being changed to make the text visible. So click on plus sign and drag it towards this edge. Then you have your own work. Everything seems to be what to be rhyme. The space, the letter space in between the letters, let there be little space, okay, to make it a readable. So after that has been done, you won't use the same font type that you use again. So what we need to do to make the whole work easier, so I'm going to drag this our services and the shape, drag it down a little bit. So the touch we are talking about, make sure that you rotate to one side, okay. Then after that, bring it down even a little bit while we drop this a little bit as well. Then we should be able to be perfect with it now. Now go into the text area. Then you have your number being typed, the number of the brand, plus 23470660781. Then if you have other number, you can just put comma or you put a kind of a demarcation sign as I did in the previous one. So why we have our plus 234 as well. So as we did in that one, 16264170, 16264170. Then after that you click OK. Now going back to the font area, then we are going to choose let's look at Montserrat semi-bold. Reduce the size a little bit. So after that you have that pin position around here, okay. We have that pin position around here, which will be cool, okay. And another thing we can do to make all this work well, so we can have a shape. When you have your shape like this, just go in there. Then what you need to do is to have the color being changed and the whole stuff. So for instance, we position that one here. After we position it, we have this, okay. After that, we are going to have this one being changed automatically. So take it for instance, we have this. Okay, perfect. So we can increase this one up a little bit so that we can have where to place it around there. And how can we make all this work well? Just to make sure that you drag this one here, tap here, and make sure everything it seems to be transparent. Then you have your own work, everything as you want. So drag. Then we have the whole work as you can see. It's cool, okay. So we can have a place and position around here to make other stuff to be visible. So sending this to the back, sending it to the back will be the best. because it's going to be on top of this, and when it's on top of that, it will make it make sense. So the next thing we can do is to just do a kind of adjustment to make sure that everything seems to be cool as we wanted, by checking the blue stuff here. Is it actually what we wanted? Okay, is it how we want it? So when it is how we want it and it cover all the areas that we don't want, so we can rest assured that everything seemed to work the way we wanted. Then after that, we can now have it lock as well. Then other styles which we want to place can have a space to be positioned. So now we have the whole stuff just as perfect as this. And then after that, we can increase the size a little bit. Okay, have the size being increased a little bit. Then we have our Gmail being typed. So we go in there under the Gmail. Then we have our the silver touch. So have the silver touch at gmail.com. Then when you have that, you position it around there. Okay, we need to put some number. So 220 200 23 203 2023. Okay, everything seems to be cool now. So we can reduce this to make sure that everything seems to be to work. So we reduce this as well. So after that has been done, we can have our shape. Just have a shape being cropped just as perfect as this. Have that one being positioned around there after the cropping. Make sure that it's in line with this. Okay. So after reposition, go into the color area, have the color being changed. Okay, we can tap the color from here to make it look cool. Okay, so after that, then the next thing we need to do is to close this a little bit. Okay, close the text a little bit to make it more obvious and give it breathing space to this line. Then after that, we have to put our slogan here to make all the work easier. So we have all she does beautiful, beautifies. Let's put it there like that. Let's see, we have dot dot, all she does beautifies. So guess is okay like this. All she does beautifies. Okay, so we have to let there be spacing between the text, I mean the letters, and we'll have a position around here. So make sure that everything is cool. Okay, perfect. Then the next thing we need to do is to change the color. So we change the color to this to white or something like this, kind of a blue, and let's italize it to make it okay. So reduce the size a little bit. Let there be a space in between again. Let there be space. Okay, then after that, still reduce the size one click. Then position, you can now reposition well. Okay, perfect. So this is the end of the road. We can put in a kind of adjustment if we actually want it. And this is just how to come up with a business flyer on our Android smartphone using our Pixellab. So make sure that you save as Ultra. Then you have your format being saved as PNG. Thanks for watching. God bless you.